No, guys, I don't think. I guess other students will be there in a while. So let's see, okay? We'll just start off gradually. Thick. So, guys, good evening to all of you. I hope everyone is doing fine. I welcome each and every one of you to another class of SSB क्रैक एग्जाम. आप सभी लोगों का स्वागत है. एफकैट 1 2023 की क्लास शुरू हो चुकी है इंग्लिश और आज का टॉपिक है फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स के एमसीक्यूज हम लोग करेंगे प्रैक्टिस. गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. So guys, let's have a quick look at the timetable for today. तो आज के टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से guys, we can see we started off with Divyanshu sir's class of daily defense updates. ठीक है, at 9. Then followed by that, we were simultaneously having SSB interview live classes of Drishti ma'am and Anuradha ma'am. एंड इफ वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट एफकैट तो आप लोगों का 2:30 बजे क्लास हो रहा था रीजनिंग का ऑफ विद दृष्टि मैम. फिगर सीरीज आप लोग कर रहे हैं. एंड एट 4 आप लोगों ने किया सत्यम सर के साथ मैथ्स का क्लास नंबर सिस्टम क्लास 3. उसके बाद फॉलोड बाय दैट अभी आप लोगों का इंग्लिश का क्लास चल रहा है. आज पहला क्लास है फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स का क्लास 1. एंड इसके बाद यू गाइज विल हैव क्लास विद दिव्यांशु सर ऑफ स्टैटिक जीके. ठीक है, क्लास 25. Okay, guys, so now let's quickly talk about the topic itself that we are going to do today is going to be fill in the blanks. Okay, guys, so previous year के analysis के हिसाब से all of you can see that you guys have been getting 4 to 5 questions each year from this topic. Now, when I talk about this topic altogether, तो आप लोग देख सकते हैं it's an important topic. Obviously, यहाँ पे आपको 4 to 5 questions आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन जो वेरी करते हैं, if we have to talk about FCAT, तो they will vary from basic to medium level of difficulty, okay? And these type of question they demand obviously clear knowledge and understanding of grammar because they can ask you question from any part of speech. Like it can be a phrase, it can be an idiom, it can be related to a noun, adjective, adverb. It can be anything across grammar or vocabulary, as we say. So you need to be very clear when it comes to meanings because you will get certain options which might be confusing for all of you. Okay, so the usage in a sentence to make the complete and meaningful sentence. So that's what our motto is going to be. And these questions obviously need basic to intermediate reading and comprehensive skills on our end as well. Okay, guys. So let's quickly we will have a very quick conceptual learning of this topic because इसमें कुछ इतना होता नहीं है, but let's just learn about it. ठीक है, briefly. So guys, basically when we talk about what is actually fill in the blank, so what they do is they just give you any sentence. Okay, so if I say that she is dash as she studies. Right, so they will give you basically any sentence. So in this sentence, she is dash as she studies. So the answer can be studious, right? As she likes to study or as she studies, whatever, right? So what we need to know is you just need to put information in that blanks. So that's what our motto is going to be. So first of all, what we need to know is कि अगर आपको कोई भी sentence दिया गया है, right? So what we need to know is we have to read the whole sentence carefully. है ना? कोई भी ऐसा सेंटेंस मिला है तो उसको पूरे अच्छे तरीके से आपको क्या करना रहेगा? पढ़ना रहेगा. एकदम carefully we will have to read each and every part of the sentence and we have to first of all identify कि which part of speech or what expression is this question asking for, right? Is it a noun? Is it, because there are certain words which might be noun, like which in which you might find a noun, but उसका verb form different होता है, या फिर उसका what do you call adjective different होता है. तो इसीलिए इसमें बहुत ही ज्यादा clarity होनी चाहिए आपको concepts में, right? So that's again is absolutely important. And again, you need to understand the structure of a sentence. That's absolutely necessary, because if you do not understand the structure of the sentence, कि किस तरीके से sentence का structure है, so they might ask you a question related to tenses or maybe gerunds or whatever, right? And you might not understand it altogether because आपको sentence का structure ही नहीं पता है. Right, किस तरीके से, या फिर they might ask you from adverb or something like that, right? And where you have to put it. So again, you might be lost. Any doubt here, anyone? No?
No,
ठीक है.
ma'am.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is again very, very important, as I have been repeating again and again, that when we talk about fill in the blanks, it's imperative for you to revise all the part of speech. क्योंकि they can ask you question from any part of speech or across grammar या फिर phrases, uh, basically idioms, expressions. So they can ask you from anywhere, and you need to know these concepts. Even phrasal verbs are also again asked a lot in these questions. So उसके बारे में भी आपको knowledge रहना चाहिए. Now, if I talk about vocabulary again, we already did a lot of vocabulary in synonyms and antonyms. So if that is strong, so again it will aid you here, because vocabulary is a must. Because अगर options अगर आपको आते हैं and you can do, like you can tell certain options apart. So again your vocabulary should be good ना. Then only you can tell it apart कि ये नहीं ऐसा है या ये ऐसा है. Otherwise you won't be able to do it. Okay, guys. So this is the only conceptual things that we need to know. Other than that, it's better if we practice the questions and understand it better. So if anyone has any question right now, they can ask, or we will start off with the questions. Any question, anyone?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Okay, guys, so let's start off with the question. Directions usually goes like this. In the following question, the sentence given with blank to be filled with an appropriate word. So they will basically give you a sentence and they will leave a blank kahin par, right? And you will have to fill. You will have to look at all the options there, and you will have to find the alternative कि कौन सा उसके साथ best जा रहा है answer. ठीक है, and then you can just indicate your answer. ठीक है guys, so all the best to all of you. तो शुरू करते हैं first question से. ठीक है, चलो. As soon as this workshop is over, comma, I am going to dash every duty and go on a holiday. A. Sidetrack. B. Abandon. C. Overthrow. D. Shut down. चलिए सबका आंसर देखेंगे यूट्यूब वाले बच्चे. वैसे कम ऑन गाइस एवरीवन. हम्म. ओके. हम्म. ओके गाइस. Okay, so let's talk about the meaning altogether. So when I talk about something basically closes, right? So we can just say that it's actually related to shut down. बंद हो जाती है, as we say, right? So shut down. Okay. So when I say that I overthrow somebody, है ना? So that actually means that you uh, remove somebody, है ना, from power. So we are not actually talking about removing somebody from power because as soon as this workshop is over, I am going to. When I talk about the word sidetrack is actually related to when we get distracted. Okay, for example, I was supposed to do some work and I got sidetracked or whatever. So it's usually related to some kind of distraction. You got distracted or whatever. ठीक. Now, if I talk about the word abandon is a word related to when you completely give up something. Okay. So out of these options, your answer actually should be abandon. As soon as this workshop is over, I am going to give up every duty. Like I'm not completely going to give up, not going to do and go on a holiday. Okay, guys. So abandon should be the answer.
मैम साइड ट्रैक मतलब इग्नोर नहीं होता है?
साइड ट्रैक करना इग्नोर तो नहीं होता है, डिस्ट्रैक्शन से रिलेशन होता है।
साइड हो सकता है ना,
हाँ
कीपिंग असाइड हो सकता है ना।
हाँ, वैसा बोल सकते हैं और मे बी यू व्हाट डू यू कॉल ओवरलुक्ड इट समवट लाइक दैट, बट या डिस्ट्रैक्शन से रिलेशन होता है गाइस।
पर
ओके सो
अबैंडन तो एकदम ही मतलब छोड़ देना है ना, उसकी जॉब है तो वो एकदम ही कैसे छोड़ देगा? थोड़े दिन के लिए मतलब उसको साइड में रख
अरे
के।
तो अरे तो एक बात बोलो ना, तो व्हाट द पर्सन इज ट्राइंग टू से आई एम गोइंग टू डैश एवरी ड्यूटी सो दैट मीन्स उसको थोड़े टाइम के लिए क्या बट गिव अप कर दिया ना, छोड़ दिया। ये थोड़े बोला कि जॉब ही छोड़ के चलो जाऊंगा एंड गो ऑन अ हॉलिडे। यू कंप्लीटली स्टॉप वर्किंग ना फॉर अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, सो यू स्टॉप दैट एंड देन यू गो। सो दैट्स व्हाट द पर्सन इज ट्राइंग टू से, ऐसा। ठीक है, उसको इतना लिटरली मत लो कि हाँ भैया बिल्कुल ही काम छोड़ देंगे, मतलब फॉर सम अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, टेम्परेरीली, लाइक दे विल बी आउट ऑफ वर्क। दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन यू आर हॉलिडे ना, यू आर आउट ऑफ वर्क। चलो, she dash great pleasure and satisfaction from cooking, wants, has, draws or derives. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay, some of the answers are correct, but some are not, obviously. Okay, so now we are talking about uh, okay. So when I talk about she dash great pleasure, so obviously we are not talking about because she really what do you call? She really enjoys something, right? So we are talking about some people are really passionate about cooking and all. Okay. So she dash great pleasure. The answer cannot be wants because we are not actually talking about some kind of desire or whatever. It's just that somebody likes it, likes doing it or loves doing it, right? So has been use सकता. Right. So now if I talk about the word derive something, okay. So when I say derive something, it actually comes from when something comes from something. So for example, if I say that this story has been derived from this writer का story or whatever, so it comes from that only. ठीक है? But when I say this, draws का मतलब होता है when you take out something, okay? Take something from a source. ठीक है, so now if we are talking about this, so the answer should be actually draw because we are talking about कि कोई source है जिसके through she is taking it ना, so it should actually be draws. Okay guys, so the answer would be C. Yep, तो ये हो जाएगा। आई होप इट्स क्लियर। तो चले नेक्स्ट पर।
Ma'am, can you repeat the difference between draws and derives?
See, when I say the word derived, so something is taken from something, taken from something. So, like a story has been derived from this writer's story. So, it has been taken from that because we talk it in formulas also. Na? This formula has been derived from this formula. You have taken it from that. Right. But when I say draws, that means something, basically, you have, what do you call, taken it फ्रॉम अ सोर्स। मतलब वो अगर मेरे को ड्रॉ करता है तो मतलब कोई पर्टिकुलर सोर्स है जिसके थ्रू मैं वो चीज करती हूँ। राइट, सो वी कैन यूज ड्रॉ फॉर दिस। ठीक
मैम
है।
एक सा हो गया ना।
मैम तो
मतलब
इसमें डिफरेंस तो नहीं हुआ कुछ भी।
हाँ,
अच्छा देखो, अगर कोई चीज किसी चीज से आ रही है तो यहाँ पे ये देखो, टू कम फ्रॉम समथिंग एंड टू टेक फ्रॉम समथिंग। सो आपको इसमें डिफरेंस नहीं दिख रहा है?
हम मतलब
हम्म।
एक तो कोर्स मतलब कुछ करके हम ले रहे हैं, जैसे मतलब फॉर्मूला से डिराइव कर रहे हैं, तो वो हम कर रहे हैं ऐसा कुछ। और प्लेजर तो उसको अपने आप ही हो रहा ही है।
No, no, no. What I say, see, what I say, I'm saying is when I say something comes from something, कोई चीज किसी से आ रही है, आ रही है, ठीक है। तो आपको उसमें कुछ करना नहीं पड़ रहा है कि अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ कि इससे डिराइव हो रहा है तो नेसेसरली आपको कुछ वॉलंटियरली करना नहीं पड़ा, वो डिराइव हो रहा है। या फिर दिस स्टोरी हैज बीन डिराइव फ्रॉम दिस, तो नेसेसरली वॉलंटियरली आपने कुछ नहीं किया उसमें। बट व्हेन आई से शी ड्रॉज लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इन ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, सो दैट मीन्स यू टेक some kind of pleasure from something, आपने उससे लिया वो चीज। you guys understand? तो there is a lot of difference between deriving and drawing something. Okay, deriving just comes. Draws means you take it. It comes from a source. Okay, it comes from a source. Obviously
मैम
you
बट
do it.
इवन इफ वी टॉक अबाउट डिराइव सो इट इज आल्सो कमिंग फ्रॉम अ सोर्स टू।
हाँ तो
लाइक देयर शुड बी अ
voluntarily आप थोड़ी
पर्टिकुलर
कर रहे हो, you are not doing it ना। There's a lot of difference between to take and to come. I don't know how you guys cannot understand it. Is this clear to everyone or like everyone has a doubt? I mean, what about others? Is it the case with everyone?
मैम मैं बताऊँ उनको, देखो डिराइव का मतलब होता है कि आप किसी चीज के लिए आपको वो करना ही पड़ेगा कि हमें ये इसकी नीड है। जैसे कोई काम है जिसकी वजह से आपको कुछ मिल रहा है और वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो वो डिराइव होता है। और ड्रॉज मतलब कि हाँ हम अपने खुशी के लिए करते हैं वैसा, उसके लिए यूज होता है। यूज कहाँ होता है वो बताया मैंने।
देखो, if I am interested in something, okay, let's take it like this. If I'm interested in something, okay, so उससे मैं क्या करूंगी? अपना जो pleasure है या gratification, I can draw it from that. I can take it. You understand? You can take it, but derivation is actually related when it comes from it. You are not necessarily doing anything in that. तो आप उसको उस सेंस में समझने की कोशिश करो। ठीक है।
यस मैम, विल डू।
Okay. Poetry is a dash form of expression in which the particularity of the word and the image to evoke feeling assumes great importance. Suppressed, patronized, compressed, or digressed. Hmm. Okay. Okay, digression is a word related to when there's a lot of, deviation, as we say, deviate हो जाते हैं. deviate, as we say. When I say the word suppressed, so usually we suppress people when we like, stop them from expressing, as we say. Right, when I say the word patronizing. So patronizing, so deviate, poetry is a deviate form of expression, stopping from expression. So obviously poetry in itself is a form of expression. So how can we talk about suppression there? Now, if I talk about the word patronizing, so patronizing is a word usually correlated to, when there is some kind of criticism involved because you think that you're superior. है ना? Now, if I talk about the word compression, so compression is again when you take a bunch of things, we can use it for poetry because you take a bunch of things to express it. You compress it and you express it. Like I can use various expressions or a bunch of words to express what I want to say. So उस sense में हम compress को use कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. Obviously, other options are not even remotely related to what the sentence is asking for. तो आप compression को यूज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? तो ये हो जाएगा आपका आंसर. नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं. He was so filled with contempt for the prisoner that he gave him a dash look, humiliated, derisive, pitying or hurtful. अभी contempt है, बहुत इजी है. हम्म. If somebody has a lot of contempt for someone, so थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ कि hurtful तो look नहीं हो सकता. Contempt means a lot of, dislike or hate for someone. So you can't be hurtful there. You can't pity a person that you hate, first of all. How can you talk about he gave him a humiliated look? Humiliation is usually related to shameful. Shameful look दिया आपने उनको. Okay, let's talk about B. So B can actually means sometimes it can mean, so these are synonyms. Sometimes you ridicule or it's a word related to contempt. तो आप लोग खुद देख लो कौन सा आंसर हो सकता है. बी होना चाहिए उसके हिसाब से तो इसका आंसर. राइट. ह्यूमिलिएशन इज रिलेटेड टू इंसल्ट एंड शेम ना. सो एक हाउ कैन ए बी योर आंसर? यू आर फिल्ड विद कंटेम्प्ट. ठीक है, एनी डाउट एनीवन?
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, because see, the question says he was so filled with contempt. The person is filled with contempt. That means they do not like the prisoner or they hate the prisoner or whatever, right? So hurtful cannot be your answer. How can you look at somebody with a hurtful look if you don't like them? You can't pity a person that you don't like. You can't look at the person with a humiliated look because it's usually related to some kind of maybe insult when you insult somebody or when it's related to I felt humiliated, matlab I felt really shameful or whatever. So out of these options, derisive can be your answer because that is related to usually either ridicule or contempt. ठीक है, तो उसके हिसाब से ये आंसर हो सकता है बिकॉज इसका सिनोनिम में कंटेम्प्ट आता है सीधा सीधा, जो आपके ह्यूमिलिएशन में तो नहीं आता है. तो उस हिसाब से यही आंसर होगा. ठीक है. ओके.
Yes, ma'am.
या. Next summer, we are going dash a trip to Canada. To, for, on, over. This is really easy. अभी देखो. So, अगर ये नहीं होता, तो I could have said yes, we are going to Canada. But in this case, it says a trip. So it's an expression that is usually used whenever we talk about purpose. तो purpose के लिए बोल सकते हैं ना that I am going to Canada for a meeting. तो यहाँ पे आप for को use करते हो for some kind of purpose. So I cannot use for as a preposition. Over is actually used when you go over something. Na, there's a ball, it went over my head or whatever. है ना? So I cannot use it for that. I'm just talking about trip. So next summer we are going on a trip because trip and vacations के लिए we actually go on vacation and on trips because they have used this trip and vacation. So we will use this. ठीक है? So on would be the right answer. ठीक है? So ये होना चाहिए. Romeo and Juliet's dash affairs is probably the most loved of all times. Secret, covert, candid, or clad? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, guys, so this one is a second. Okay, so let's talk about the meaning. So, Romeo and Juliet's affair. We are talking about Romeo and Juliet's affair. So, when I talk about clad, clad is usually related to something which is clothed, right? So, how can we talk about an affair as clothed? So, candid is usually related to something being frank. Again, when I say again secretion would be a term usually related to some kind of discharge or maybe some kind of produce, like something is produced. है ना? So we can't say discharge
Yes,
affairs or
ma'am.
whatever. है ना?
Secret means like you are secreting something, like
हाँ हाँ
secreting hormones, producing
yeah.
hormones.
Correct. Right, very good. So again, your answer can be covert because that's a word usually related to some kind of secret which shouldn't be revealed or whatever, right? So that would be your answer out of these options. So great, guys. यहाँ पे तो सही किया. चलो. Next, the dash towards the school was very steep. Okay. Ascent, ascent or accent. Hmm. Okay, let's talk about it. Actually, both the words mean the same thing. When something goes up or this climb, as we say, climb also, the climb towards the school or whatever, when you just go up. So actually what happens is there's just one difference. This is a verb. Sorry, this is a noun actually. I did a mistake. This is a noun and this is a verb. So you guys can see it is the. So the ke baad a noun can only come, na? So that's why your answer should be B because that's a noun and the first one is actually a verb. It is used as a verb. So we can't use it after an article. When I say assent, assent would be when there's agreement, like somebody agrees, and accent is actually related to some intonation or pronunciation, as we say, right? So that cannot be our answer. So B would be the correct answer because it's a noun form of climb or something goes up. I hope it is clear to everyone. So A cannot be the answer. ठीक. चलो. Okay, some interesting matters dash in our discussion yesterday. Came up, got up, came in, or came about. Okay. So when I say some interesting matters, comma, in our discussion yesterday, so when I say the word came about, right? So something which, when something usually begins or it starts, we can say it came about, right? So some interesting matters begin or in our discussion, it's not exactly related to a discussion. Came in, right? Something is here, it just came in from here to there or whatever, right? Came in our house. So not exactly related. Again, we are talking about a discussion. Now, if we talk about got up, that means somebody actually literally got up and did something or whatever. So that cannot be the answer again. Now, if I talk about came up actually means when something arises. Okay, guys, so that can be the answer that some interesting matter arose in our discussion yesterday. Right, so your answer can be A out of these options. Is this clear to all of you? So that would be the answer. ठीक नेक्स्ट पे चलते he loaded the dash of cotton on the truck basket bales bunches and bundles. Okay, guys. So now if we talk about cotton, it's like a collective noun ही बोलो, so उसके साथ एक ही expression जा सकता है. So he loaded the basket. Basket is somewhat like, I can relate this word basket जैसा कोई चीज होता है. It's somewhat like a container only where you can keep maybe fruits or something like that, right? So it's open usually, obviously, usually open, sometimes covered also. So not related to that. ठीक है. Now, if I actually talk about bunches and bundles, so basically you fold things together. Like what you do is when you do fold things properly, like you gather them and you fold them properly, I can say it's a bunch. But again, if I say bundle, again, I will gather things, but I will do it in a very clumsy way. So, like you can see, there's a lot of difference when it comes to organizing it. The second one is basically unorganized. Bunch would be pretty organized. You fold things properly and then you gather them and keep it. Okay, so now if I talk about what do you call बेल तो बेल आप कॉटन के साथ यूज करते हो because it's somewhat related to you wrap it up and you kind of bundle it together, right? So that can be related to it because usually वो ऐसा ऐसा कुछ रहता है ना, so we can use bale for it. Is this clear? Because cotton के लिए we use bales of cotton. ठीक है, not bunches or bundles or basket. Anything is dash which is not against the nature of things, practicable, parable, probable, or possible. Yeah, so practicable is a word related to that is actually practically possible. So no, when I talk about parable is usually related to some story. So no. When I say something is probable, so that means it is likely. So no, our answer can be actually possible. Anything is possible, which is not against the nature of thing. जैसा बोलते भी ना anything is possible. So वैसा ही ले लो. So उसके हिसाब से your D can be the answer out of these options, obviously. ठीक है, guys? So I hope it is clear. D would be the answer. Next पे चलते. Is not learning superior dash wealth? Then from by to. अभी इधर तो preposition knowledge चेक हो रही है, मतलब वो आता है तो आता है. Okay, so usually we use then for comparison, but what we need to know is now we are talking about superior, inferior, hierarchy and all. So ऐसे cases में we actually don't use then. And when I talk about from is again used for like, something goes from here to there or whatever, right? And when I say by is you actually used for some kind of instrument, as we say. So ye strikeout, ye strikeout. So usually when we talk about hierarchy and superior, inferior, so we actually use this to as a preposition. So this would be the answer, not then. Okay, guys. So I hope it is clear. If not, let me know. Chalo. A group of agitators dashed the mob to break down the vice chancellor's door. Wished, excited, threatened, or incited. A group of agitator, they are already agitated. ठीक है? Okay, so these group of agitators dash the mob, मतलब जितना भी भीड़ इकट्ठा हुआ है, they want them to break down the vice chancellor's door. So they necessarily, obviously, they want it, but not like they're wishing. Excited the mob, not really going with it. Now, if we talk about if we are threatening somebody, so why would they warn them? Because threatening is usually related to you warn somebody or whatever, right? Now, if I talk about incited, because incited is a word related to when you stir something up, or it is usually related to violence. So we can say that they incited the mob, that do something, kind of instigated them, that okay, let's do something, stir them up, so that they actually break down the vice chancellor's door. ठीक है, so incited would be the correct answer, not wished, excited, or threatened. Okay. Turn the lights dash before you go to bed. On, off, out, down. अभी लाइट्स के लिए तो मतलब see when we are talking about electricity, है ना? We also say turn out the lights. But what we need to know, like there's a thin line when I say turn out. So it's actually related to turn on तो नहीं बोलोगे because you are going to bed. Before you go to bed, you won't turn on your lights, na? So when I say out, it is actually related to maybe anything which has light, maybe any kind of flame or something. See, when we talk about electricity, so in that case we can use off. So that would be like a better approach towards the question. So turn the lights off. Basically, we are referring to electricity, right? So that can be our answer, and not obviously turn the lights down. That cannot be our answer. वो तो बिल्कुल ही गलत हो जाएगा. So your answer should be off. ठीक, चलो नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं. There is no dash evidence to support your assertion. Facile, fictitious, facetious or factual. Mm-mm. This one is really easy. When we talk about evidence, है ना? So why would you talk about something which is fictitious, है ना? Which is related to fiction or something which is unreal? Evidence की बात हो रही है. Now this word would be related to something which is like, too easy. So आप evidence के लिए too easy evidence, why would you say that? Now this word would be related to something like, you give a remark to someone and it has some kind of undertone of like, humor that you used and you did it purposely. So again, we are not talking about that. So when we talk about evidence, obviously it should be related to facts. है ना? So that would be our answer. Correct. Absolutely right, guys. ठीक है? चलो नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं फिर. Throw a stone dash the fierce dog at, upon, on और above. अभी हम लोग थ्रो की बात करें. Yeah, because our answer can only be what do you call at in this case, because when I say throw at somebody, so you throw it at them with the purpose of actually hitting them, है ना, कि उनको लगे. Because when I say throw a stone upon, first of all, we are talking about a stone, so in that context, it won't go. ठीक है, upon is like if I say throw upon, so it is actually related to what do you call flight. Like native speakers usually use it for birds, like when they come and sit on somebody or something like that. So we can use it for that. And again, if you're talking about stone, तो ये तो नहीं हो सकता. Throw on, again, we can use it for clothes when you throw on some clothes. So throw a stone is not related. Throw above, it goes above your head or whatever, I don't know. So this again cannot be your answer. So because for the purpose of hitting, so this would be the apt answer. ठीक है guys? A हो जाएगा आपका answer. Next पे चलते हैं. I dash, he has been caught up in a traffic jam. So would you suspect? Would you suppose? Would you imagine? Or would you speculate? Hmm. Okay. Okay, so if I talk about the option I dash, she has been caught up in a traffic jam. So when I say that suspecting somebody, to suspect is a word usually related to some kind of doubt. So I doubt he has been caught up in a traffic jam does not really go with the sense of this sentence. So how are you not trying to suspect the person? Right. So again, you cannot say I imagine, because imagination would be again related to you thinking something, just thinking something, fabricating something, whatever in your head, you are just thinking something, thinking of something, just imagining stuff in your head. So you can't use this word again. Now, if I say the word speculate, because speculation, guys, is again related to when you just reflect on something, है ना? कुछ भी आप बैठ के से reflect कर रहे हो उसके ऊपर कि okay, should I do this, should I not do this, or whatever. So you're just reflecting, you're kind of thinking only, as we say, right? So now if I talk about suppose, so suppose can also be related to some kind of as we say, like if there's a premise, okay, so for example, if there is a lot of smoke, right? So if there's a mountain and there's a lot of smoke, है ना, and you in your past has seen that when a smoke comes out of something, that means there is some fire. So you come to a conclusion. So now, because you know this person's schedule, and you know usually they are late because they might be stuck. So in this case, we can use the word suppose, because you come to certain conclusion after thinking, right? Basically, there's some kind of premise and logical conclusion. So we can say suppose, as we do in maths also, x and y and all that. So we can use the word suppose. ठीक है, I hope it is clear to everyone. So suppose would be the answer. The government's economic policy includes certain projects for dash the living condition of the poor, bettering, harmonizing, manipulating, or doing away with. Okay. Yeah, guys, because see, if the government's economic policy includes certain project, so when I say doing away with, so it's usually related to you want to, get rid of something. So why would they want to get rid of something? है ना? So that cannot be our answer. When you say manipulating, so manipulation usually has a negative connotation, and usually try to control something in a skillful manner also, but you can't control it, right? So when I say harmonizing, maybe you're trying to harmonize some kind of parts or whatever, and usually related to peace, as we say. Yes, so we can say bettering the living condition na, so that can be the answer out of these options. So A would be the correct answer. Correct, great. चलते हैं next पर. Okay. Kamal's friend had nothing to offer him other than dash in his grief. Kindness, solution, consolation, or happiness. Of course, if we are talking about Kamal's friend, okay, and he is in grief, right? So obviously you'll do it with kindness, but that's not the only thing we need here. So we can't really consider it. You are offering something. So obviously solution भी नहीं जा सकता, happiness भी नहीं जा सकती, तो we can say consolation, right? Because usually you give consolation to people who are maybe going through some kind of loss, as we say. So in this sense, we can say consolation. So that would be the correct answer. Absolutely correct, guys. Next पे चलते हैं. In spite of our best efforts, comma, we failed to dash any new facts from him. Elicit, evoke, eject, or enlist. Hmm. Okay. So when I say somebody enlisted themselves in something, that means they joined it, है ना? So we can use it for that. When I say the word eject, ejection is usually sometimes like related to when you forcibly throw something, you eject it or you take it out, है ना? So that cannot be our answer. Okay, now if we talk about that, what do you call? क्या बोलते हैं उसको? एक मिनट guys. Hmm. Okay, so now if we talk about the word evoke itself. So evoke में क्या होता है? Evoke में you usually recollect something, as we say. Recollect किया आपने उसको अपने दिमाग में. You know, something happened and it just recollects you. You just thought of it, you recollected a thought or anything. है ना? So it's related to that. We fail to recollect any new facts from him. Elicit बोल सकते हो because elicit में क्या करते हो? आप कोई चीज draw करते हो किसी चीज से. है ना, निकालते हो उस चीज को, एलिसिट करते हो, बिकॉज एलिसिट जो रिस्पॉन्स होता है किसी इंसान का वो एलिसिट किया जाता है. यू कैंट रिकलेक्ट इट, यू कैंट फोर्स इट और यू कैंट जॉइन इट, राइट? सो दैट कैन बी योर आंसर. ठीक, एलिसिट करते हैं हम लोग. ठीक है. द गवर्नमेंट शुड प्रोवाइड अट्रैक्टिव टैक्स ब्लैंक टू क्रिएट द मार्केट फॉर क्वालिटी गुड्स, कंट्रोल्स, इंसेंटिव्स, रेवेन्यू और स्ट्रक्चर. अब इसको तो फर्स्ट ग्लैंस पर ही देख के आप देख सकते हो कि पहला ऑप्शन और जो लास्ट का ऑप्शन है वो हो नहीं सकता है. बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द गवर्नमेंट शुड प्रोवाइड अट्रैक्टिव टैक्स, सो व्हाई वुड दे लाइक टू कंट्रोल to create the market for quality goods? So we are not talking about structures also. Now if I talk about revenue, so revenue can also be related to some kind of salary. ठीक है. So it's not actually related to that also. ठीक. Hmm. Yeah, because your answer should be in sorry, incentives. Okay, the government should provide attractive tax incentives, because basically it's like the amount of money that you pay to someone maybe to motivate them, right? So incentives usually are paid to employees, who are maybe doing well, so that they can motivate them in the future to do even better. So in that sense, the government should provide attractive tax incentives to create the market, not just money, but basically the amount of money that is actually motivating the market for quality goods. ठीक है guys? और some kind of concession also. Concession के लिए भी इसको use कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो उस हिसाब से गवर्नमेंट को इंसेंटिव देना चाहिए.
Excuse
ठीक
me,
है.
ma'am.
हम्म.
Ma'am, can you please show the previous question? Thank you, ma'am.
ओके, चलो. Rajiv failed in the examination because none of his answers were dashed to the question asked. Elusive, revealing, pertinent, or referential. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So let's look at it. Rajiv failed in the examination because none of his answers were dashed to the question asked. Right. So basically, when I talk about the word elusive, elusive cannot be the answer because when I try to indirectly indirectly state something, so why would your answers be indirectly stating something? ठीक है, or trying to suggest something. We are talking about your answers. Revealing भी नहीं हो सकता. None of his answer were revealing. We are not talking about revealing or concealing anything. Referential is a word related to reference again. आप किसी चीज की तरफ refer कर रहे हो. So why would you use it for answers? Your answer can actually be pertinent because pertinent is a word related to which is what do you call? Rajiv, none of his answer were it wasn't accurate
Ma'am,
or it
relevant.
was relevant. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the word. Yes, it wasn't relevant, okay, to the questions asked. So pertinent आपका सही आंसर हो जाएगा. ठीक है? हाँ, करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट पे चलते हैं. देयर आर डैश व्यूज ऑन द इश्यूज ऑफ गिविंग बोनस टू द एम्प्लॉयज. इंडिपेंडेंट, डाइवर्जेंट, मॉडेस्ट और एडवर्स. काफी इजी है ये तो. देयर आर डैश व्यूज. सो इंडिपेंडेंट व्यूज, modest views. Modesty तो is used for something when you don't think high of yourself, like you're really modest, you don't think you're superior. You are not going to say adverse views because adversity is usually related to something bad or miserable. We can say divergent because divergent is about related to there are various opinions like different. So we can say divergent views on the issues of giving bonus to the employees because obviously if you're we talk of opinions, so people have various opinions, different opinions, na? So we can use this word instead of others. ठीक. Next पे चलते हैं. He has dashed people visiting him at his house because he fears it will cause discomfort to neighbors. Curtailed, requested, stopped, or warned. Okay. Hmm. Curtail तो आप ये बोलते हो ना, जैसे कि मैं बोला he has curtailed, तो curtail होता है cut down. Like how will it go? He has curtailed people. He has cut down people visiting him at his house. And he has requested people visiting him at his house. He has warned people visiting him at his house. That would be somewhat different. अगर आप warn कर रहे हो, that's a different thing. We can say stopped. He has stopped people visiting him at his house. Right. So he must have asked the people that, you guys need to stop because there's some kind of discomfort. So, curtail would be like, you cut down people because it's not going exactly going with the sentence. Although he never learned to read, his exceptional memory and inquiring mind eventually made him a very dash man. Dedicated man, erudite, pragmatic, or benevolent. Okay, so out of these options, your answer can be benevolence. Okay, we are first of all talking about knowledge, right? Exceptional memory, reading, whatever. So benevolence is not related to it because it is usually related to some kind of kindness, somebody is generous and all those things. Pragmatic is related to something being practical. So we are not actually talking about that. Now, dedicated can be a part of it, but we are actually talking about the person having exceptional memory, inquiring mind. So we can talk it to erudite because that's a word usually related to somebody who is scholarly. Scholarly उनमें बहुत ही ज्यादा knowledge का भंडार है वो जैसा बोलते हैं ना, तो उस sense में we can say the answer can be B actually. Scholarly, as we say, some people are scholarly. So we can say B can be the answer. ठीक. Last question करते हैं अभी. Reconstructing the skeletons of extinct species like dinosaurs is dash process that requires much patience and effort by paleontologists. Nascent, aberrant, worthless, or exacting? Hmm. Okay, so when I say that something is nascent, it is usually related to budding, है ना? Aberrant is a word related to deviance, deviating from something. So I don't think if you are someone who deviates, you can do well. ठीक है, worthless भी नहीं हो सकता. Exacting हो सकता है because exacting means when something is demanding. Okay, like making great demand of skills on your end. Like you should be extremely skillful. Okay, and resourceful as we say. So उस sense में we can use this word exacting. ठीक है? So D can be your answer. ठीक है guys? नेसेंट तो बडिंग होता है ना मतलब रिकंस्ट्रक्टिंग द skeleton of extinct species like dinosaur is budding process. Much patience and effort. So if it's requiring much patience and effort, so you should be a person who should be really skillful and resourceful na to withstand the process because it's rigorous. तो उसको सेंस तो देखो सेंटेंस के साथ एग्जैक्टिंग ही हो सकता है एज अ प्रोफेशनल तो आप एबेरेंट अगर डिविएट हो रहे हो तो कैसा चलेगा ठीक उस सेंस में ये हो जाएगा Okay, guys. So we are done with the questions for today. And in the next class, we'll have second class of fill in the blanks. So I'll see you there. If anyone has any question, they can ask, or we will conclude the session now on my end. And for everyone who is watching us right now, please don't forget to go to SSB Crack Exam ka page and check out the course as well so that we can help you all better. Okay, guys. So तब तक के लिए जय हिंद to everyone and take
Excuse
care
me,
of
ma'am.
yourself. हाँ जी,
Ma'am, I was having a question.
बोलो.